This is John Watson, and I feel no shame in saying that old John here is my favourite person in motorsport. If you're not all that clued up on your F1 history, I think the best way of describing him is an Ulster version of Daniel Ricciardo, who specialised on licking the stamp and sending it. Possibly John Watson's biggest claim to fame in F1 is the record he set in the 1983 US Grand Prix West, when he won from the lowest starting position, 22nd on the grid. How on earth did this happen? Well, lucky you're about to find out. First step in winning from the lowest position is to have a nightmare qualifying session, and my goodness what a dreadful time McLaren had. Whilst Ferrari and Williams were busy locking out the first two rows, Watty and the late great Niki Lauda were plodding around on Michelin tyres that just would not come to them. In a field limited to 26 cars, the two qualified 22nd and 23rd, 4 seconds slower than Tombé's pole time. So how does one go from 4 seconds off the pace to winning the whole damn thing? Elementary, my dear viewers. While the Michelin rubber on the McLarens was ill suited to the Long Beach circuit in terms of one lap pace, they were perfect for the race. On the first lap of the race, both Williams jump Arnoux while Tombé maintains his grid position and leads the first lap, while way down in the pack, our Woking-based Philip Morris-clad protagonists had okay starts, moving up to 20th and 22nd respectively. If tyres were to help the McLarens out later, the inverse was true for Tombé in the lead. Ferrari were working their good years hard, and the Frenchman soon found himself a stopper in the bottle, and under intense pressure from those behind. Now, Long Beach is right up there as one of the best street circuits in world racing, but it's still a street circuit, and passing is easier said than done. After 20 of 75 laps, incredibly there were just 4 seconds between the top 6. You've heard of the Trulli train? Well, this was the Tombé train. Yeah, that works. Our featured driver in the previous video for 1983, Keke Rosberg, isn't known for his patience or conservative driving, so after being tucked up that Ferrari rear wing for 25 laps, never failing to be within a second since lap 7, the world champion made his move at the hairpin, and it did not go well. First and second out in an instant. The order on lap 26 was as follows: Laffite, Jarier, Patrese, Sullivan, Sura, and my look who it is, Niki Lauda and John Watson in 6th and 7th. The two had been making good progress, passing cars every other lap or so, and of course, taking advantage of others' troubles. Sullivan and Jarier pit, and the McLarens make their way past Sura, so on lap 30, they now run 3rd and 4th with all the life left in their tyres. Indeed, they wouldn't need to make any pit stops in the race, and it's from laps 30 to 45 where the race was won. Chasing down Laffite and Patrese, who were also trying to go stopless, the McLarens in clean air were on average 2 to 2.5 seconds faster per lap. Watson passed Lauda on lap 32 because he's John Watson and you can't tell him not to overtake. Proven further when the Ulsterman passed Patrese and Laffite on consecutive laps, and took the lead on lap 45 out of 75 after starting 22nd, remember. The pace advantage was absurd, like he was racing on low difficulty. I mean, he was 34 seconds behind the leader on lap 16. Pace from these Michelins never dropped off, and legends say Watson still laps the circuit at a strong pace today. So yes, it was a bit of a McLaren demonstration. That 2 to 2.5 second lap advantage they had from laps 30 to 45 increased to more like 2.5 to 3 seconds per lap against their closest rivals. The ones who could lap at McLaren's pace were Prost and Arnoux, who had both made stops. Prost was laps down after earlier issues, and Arnoux was really the story of the second half of the race, climbing from 10th after his second stop to finish 3rd. It helps that other non-stoppers like Laffite were 5 seconds off the pace at the end of the race. Indeed, as the checkered flag fell, it was only Arnoux who the McLarens hadn't lapped. That's right, 22nd and 23rd on the grid, and they finished the race having lapped all but one runner at the end. The lowest winning grid position, and it was a cakewalk. It's funny how things like that happen. So there we go, there's a string to your F1 trivia bow. The lowest winning grid position in F1 history, John Watson from 22nd, because of Michelin bringing wank qualifying tyres but giga race ones. In case you're curious, the second lowest winning position was Bill Vukovic in the 1954 Indy 500, 19th. But from an actual proper F1 race, it was Rubens Barrichello from 18th in the 2000 German Grand Prix. One of the all-time greats in my very humble opinion. Maybe I'll do a video on that one in the future.